这个路由器不好吧？
对。
啊？
对，有可能，有可能，我也拿保证。但他电脑连的，
你看看上个3个是
10号嘛？
这是我们那这个3个不用是。
他那个是不用的是吧？
应该不用吧？
电脑先放。
提前多久照片？17分钟。你看你们在台上不学，看到人家基本上看见他提前多长时间照片，下面记好，然后就甚至你们不拍照，回去自己办个比赛弄个图就知道你在干什么了，回头再想再说，对自己信心，是不是啊？
不是，你那个把它转过来嘛，你就这样弄嘛。又好了是吧？ 它的箱子一样。啊，往这里插上。第一个的箱子怎么第一个出就可以？啊。可以了吧？
Please rise for the national anthem of Canada. 请全体起立奏加拿大国歌。
Last game of the group stage, both for Canada and China at home here in Hangzhou in the 2026 Sitting Volleyball World Championships. Just before we start tomorrow the knockout stage, and let's meet with the two international referees for that game. Ahmed Assa and Ayhan Hakhmetov will be the two officiating. It's a match in the Group A. China is currently leading the way with 5 points. Germany second with 4, Canada third with 2. Thailand only has 1 point. And the game between Germany and Thailand will start in 1 hour on court number 3 to have the final ranking of that group. Of course, the purpose for all teams is to finish the highest rank possible to have the easiest round of 16 tomorrow. Starting 6 for Canada, led by the captain Douglas Leroy, Bryce Foster, the number 6, Andrew Tucker, Connor Compton, Darius Simonovic, Riley Brennan, and the libero Michael Bartoldi, a strong Canadian side that we saw yesterday already. China, we had the chance to see them during the opening day when they defeated Thailand, led by their captain Gao Zhang, Su Zhangbing, Chen Xingdong, Ding Jian, Xie Yiwen, and Zhong Shikai, 2 liberos for China. They will start with the number 11, Yu Qian Wuyon. One victory for Canada, 2 for China. Well, at some point, if Canada wins 3 sets to 0, we'll have to go to the points ratio, because both teams will be exactly at the same number of victories, exactly the same number of points, exactly the same set ratio. But we are not there yet. Let's play the game. Of course, China is favorite at home, 2 victories out of 2 games against Germany and Thailand. And the first serve of the game will be for Canada and the number 77, Connor Compton. China-Canada is underway in the Group A. The first point for China, good swing, Ding Jian. Canada. Well, Ding Jian was well positioned. It was not easy to have a good dig on that one. Great reception. And the first point for the captain, Gao Zhang. Not an easy one to deal with for Douglas Leroy, the captain and leading scorer for Canada. Ball was clearly outside of the antenna, and there is a first video challenge requested by China. It is about an eventual antenna touch. The on-court decision is no antenna touch, point for Canada. Let's see what that first video challenge has in store. The video challenge referee for that game is Mr. Ralid Shanisha, and I think he already has a decision, probably found the right image. No touch. The on-court decision is confirmed. A point for Canada. And China has one challenge remaining. The rule is super easy. Your challenge is successful, you keep it. If not, you lose it, and you have 2 per set per team. Good serve for China. That's an ace for Ding Jun, having a strong start in that game. Good block for Gao Zhan. Lifting called against Andrew Tucker. Not quite the game start that Cora Reid-Brody was expecting, probably. A lot of pressure from China and an early 4-point lead. Duke lost their ride as the second hand to score. Good reflex. Another point for the captain, Gao Zhan. Tucker to the middle, digged. Finally, Tucker finds the solution. Well, the set was not perfect for Zhong Sikai. Anyway, he found a way to score the point. What's the block, Canada? Foster and Compton. Solid block to completely close the door. Connection through the middle with Zhong Sikai. Darius Simonovic had to play it with the foot. Quite surprised that no one took it earlier. It's his first ball of the game and the first point. Important player in that Canadian roster, able to score a lot of power in his swing. Red ball called by Ayan Rakhmetov against Canada, even if the spike was out. That point goes for the men in red, having a 4-point lead, 11-7. A lot of risk for Zhong Shikai. Catch called against Michael Bartoldi, the libero. Well, not easy to do better when the ball is coming so fast from the block. Catch as well against Douglas Leroyd. Was a touch by Gao Zhan on that swing from Andrew Tucker. It is the 10th point for Canada, but still sailing with a 3-point deficit in that first set. What a reflex from the Chinese libero Yu Qian Yuan. But no one to take the ball behind him. And with Canada slowly coming back in that first one, it is a timeout call, China. Finding the same energy, the same pace, and the one China had at the very beginning of the game, and they used to put a lot of pressure on the Canadian side. Rotation mistake from China coming out of the timeout. play Tucker between the blocker and the antenna. Block, Douglas Leroy. (14-all). Riley Brennan is the next Canadian player to serve. Monster block, Leroy Tucker. Foster the backside for Compton. Two-point lead for Canada, playing much better than what they did at the very beginning of the game. Well, the idea was good for Tucker to push it deep. As the player from the back row on the Chinese side were moving towards the net. On that side, Simonovic struggling on the reception. Point for China. And this will be the first timeout for Cora Reid-Brody. 18 for China, 16 for Canada. Foster for Leroy in position 2. Ball is called out. And there will be a video challenge requested by Canada. If I saw correctly, they want to double check that there was no block touch. The challenge is successful.
Challenge successful. 挑战成功。
Well, good call by the Canadian head coach. Too much angle for Zhong Shikai. Block out on Foster. Backside Pataka going with a tip over the blocker. That's enough to score 19-0. Good reception, Batoldi. Simonovic as well with the tip. A substitution for Canada.
Substitution by Team Canada.
Same that we already saw yesterday.
Out. Number 8 in.
Brad Hunter coming in for Connor Compton. Canada turns in front, 21-20.
Substitution by Team Canada. Number 8 out. Number 77 in.
Simonovic from position 2. It will be important for Canada to have Simonovic at that level of play. Bryce Foster was the winning serve. And China will call their second timeout after first set. Well, Xie Yiwen wanted to avoid touching the ball on the previous serve. And even when he moved on the side, it just hit his shoulder. Quite unfortunate on that one. And this gives Canada a 2-point lead. That's the challenge for China to close that gap. Tactical serve coming out of the timeout. And the captain, Gao Zhang, asking for the ball and having a good swing from position 4. 2 points in a row. And this is how China is able to close the gap. 23-all. It will be either a set point for Canada or for China. Important point. Cora Reid-Brady still has a timeout. It is called in. And Canada will challenge the call, in or out.
Canada requests a video challenge. 加拿大队请求挑战。
Ball is out. It will be a first set point for Canada. Darius Simonovic. The scoreboard is right. 24 for Canada, 23 for China. Set point, Canada. Clark Douglas Leroy to score that 25th point. And Canada takes the first set and the lead in that game. Set number 2 is about to start. No change in the starting 6 for Canada, which sounds quite logical since they managed to secure the first one 25-23. Quick look on the Chinese side as well. Guangzhou trusts the same 6+1 player. Good cover by Leroy. What a serve again for China. Clever played. Darius Simonovic just pushed the ball deep towards position 5, where it's hard to cover. Bryce Foster. It's in, no doubt it's in. Ace Canada. Block, counter block. Simonovic, another point. He's having a great start in that second set. Still Ryan. Strong hit, touch by Shen Xindong. Su Zhengbing for the conclusion. Good job by the block from China. Clearly, Douglas Leroy played it on the other side of the net. Tucker on the line. Strong into the block. Qie Yuan. Solid block for China in front of Connor Compton. The ball may be a bit too much into the net, not a lot to do. He had a real wall in front of him. Bartoldi for a set. played, Zhong Shikai. Great serve on the captain, Douglas Leroy. And they will adapt. With Foster moving back into the reception and Leroy sitting at the net. Outside of the antenna. Good effort by Leroy. Not accurate enough on his last set. Ace China. Very strong one, Zhong Shikai between Foster and Simonovic. Will he go for the same target between 5 and 6? Absolutely not. He went towards position 1 on Bartoldi. And Canada changes something in the reception, but the gap is getting bigger. A 4-point lead for Canada, and the timeout is called by Brody. Simonovic decides to play that ball. The team was screaming out, maybe a bit too late for Simonovic. Already made the decision to take it. What a serve again, Zhong Shikai. A world-class serve. That time it was quite dangerous for the statisticians sitting there. Huge mistake. Well, when you take that much risk, at some point you also can make some mistakes. The block for Connor Compton. Canada will need more break points if they want to come back in that second set. Two in a row. Again on the captain, Gao Zhang. Another option to the middle with Ding Jian. We're not used to that substitution. Hunter coming in for Compton. Compton was a bit struggling yesterday at the beginning of the game with his serve. And Brad Hunter has a great quality of serve. So why not? And of course, Compton comes back in for the front row, having some more height to block and to spike. It's a bit disappointing. Simonovic touched that ball before it could reach the net. We'll never know it would have gotten over the net level or not. The point is for China, still with a 4-point lead. Brennan, good effort by the block from China. What a swing, Xu Zhangbing. Well, China also had the lead in the first one, and suddenly Canada found the solution to put some more pressure. I have the feeling that the quality of the serve for China increased a lot in that second set. Some discussion between Ahmed Asser and Ayan Akhmetov. I see them touching their device, their microphone. Everything is good. The electronic score sheet is ready. 16-11 for China. Tucker from the back row, no risk. Great dig, but it was after the ball touched the floor. Second timeout for Canada. China now has a 6-point lead. Individual discussion for Cora Reid-Brody with Bryce Foster. And Taylor Dyer taking the timeout with the team. Well, it's almost now or never if Canada still hopes to come back in that second set. Foster the second hand. Good dig China. He takes the set for Brennan. And the point is for China, a lifting call against Riley Brennan. The lucky counter block for Brennan with his head, and the point for Canada. While Brennan is smiling because he did not control a lot on that counter block. Sometimes when you just sit at the right spot, this kind of things happen. Foster just a bit too low to go over the net. Finds a solution against two blockers. That's a very good block for Tucker. Simonovic with a serve mistake. Easy dig for China. This ball will come back one more time. Still not over. What a rally. And Douglas Leroyd will have a challenge called by China. Well, it's not quite clear because there was a challenge requested by China, but nothing clear, no board shown. And then Ahmed Asser decided that they cannot challenge. It was too late to request it, not into the 7 seconds. And when he whistled, well, Canada served, of course, but it was to show that there is a challenge. So now it's not really clear. We still did not see what China is challenging. Well, for sure the head coach was showing the video challenge sign with his hand, but we have no real idea what he wanted to ask because we never ever saw the board coming from the assistant coach. Apparently we are into the video challenge. Well, it was for a net touch. The answer is no touch. Point is for Canada. Difficult for Brennan to serve after that long break. (21) for China, 16 for Canada. Lifting called against Douglas Leroy. And China is getting closer and closer from that second set. Ace Xu Zhangbing. Good dig, Bartoldi. And the block out on Andrew Tucker. Here is the first set point for China, 24-16. The first set point is the good one. 1-all between China and Canada. Set number 3 between China and Canada. The last game of the group stage in the Group A. And both head coaches trust the same players to start that third set. For China, it's all about securing the first place in that Group A. For Canada, trying to finish the highest they can. There is one more game that will start in about 5 minutes. It's the one between Germany and Thailand. Germany second after their second game of the group stage with 4 points. Thailand last with only 1 point and no victory. To still have some opportunity that there is a huge change in the final ranking of that Group A, especially if Canada wins against China later today, and if Thailand is able to create a surprise against Germany. We saw Thailand 2 times already on that court number 1. This game will be on court number 3 against Germany, but they showed some interesting skills against China during day 1 and against Canada yesterday. They will be facing the huge experience of the German side, who were taking part in the Paralympics in Paris. Connection between Leroy and Tucker through the middle. We just have Bosnia and Herzegovina and Poland arriving here in Hangzhou. They will start their warm-up a bit later because this game can still be a long one, especially when we see that it's 1 set all. Not easy to predict which team is favorite. Even China showed some very good skills behind the serve line during the second set. I did not see if there is a challenge call. Could be. I was just looking at the Polish team coming and wondering if they should go to the warm-up area, yes or no. Video challenge is underway. Apparently it's not easy to find the right image and the right answer to that challenge. point for China. 3-1 in that third set. Touch by Tucker. It's not quite clear who gets that point. I guess that the on-court decision is point for Canada. I saw Ahmed Asser raising his hand for Canada. And there is a challenge now for China. No touch by the block. Lifting call against Douglas Leroyd. But for the moment, nothing really goes as planned for Canada in that third one. A 4-point lead for China, 5 points to 1. Important side out on Xie Yiwen's serve, probably one of the best server for China. Discussion now on the rotation for Canada. Well, Leroyd just served. Bit confusing. Simonovic just out. Foster digged. There was some net touch from Cheng Xingdong. Good angle and good depth found by Zhong Shikai, the curve was too deep on the line. I mean, on the trajectory of the swing, which was diagonal. Bartholdi, the set for Brennan, looked to be too much to the inside. But neither Gao nor Xie could play that ball, falling on the Chinese side of the net. What a spike for Zhong Shikai. Yes, such a strong shoulder. And the gap is increasing for China. A 6-point lead now. It will be a timeout call for Canada. Well, China is simply playing better since the middle of the second set. Both Connor Compton and Corarid Brody discussing about the attitude at the block, being more aggressive, more with the idea to score a point when going for blocking action. Block out for Douglas Leroy. Well, the Canadian captain can definitely lead the way. He's able to score a lot of points. Completely missed for Zhong Shikai. But the point goes to China still. I had the feeling this was completely out. Well, after yesterday's long day, my eyes are also getting a little bit tired. Point for Canada. Net fall called against China. No complaint from Zhong Shikai. Clearly accepts the call. Foster had no chance to avoid the ball coming directly on him. Important side out for Canada on the best server of China. Luckily for Canada, he could not go into a too long streak that time, but the gap is already big, 7 points. Compton blocked. Well, the libero from China is disappointed, but no doubt that ball landed into the court. Another point for the captain Gao Zhang. I did not check the live statistics, but he's scoring quite a lot. Oh, what a dig! Simonovic block, good reflex for Foster, one time, two time, fight at the net. What a solid play for China. They clearly have the momentum. And this will be the second timeout called by Cora Reid Brody, 17-8 for China. This was the second and last timeout for Canada in that third set. Can they find a key to come back? Doesn't look easy. Good energy for Simonovic on that swing. Hunter coming for Compton.
Substitution by Team Canada. Number 77 out. Number 8 in.
Can he start some serve streak? Would be a good moment for Canada. Well, not exactly.
Substitution by Team Canada. Number 8 out. Number 77 in.
Easy reception for Tucker. Simonovic. Another point for him. But isn't it too late in that third set? There's an 8-point deficit. Bryce Foster. Right, not accurate enough on the reception. Foster the back set for Simonovic. Solid block by Brennan. And Xie Yiwen was a bit late to come to counter block. And Christopher Bird will come for Andrew Tucker. Corey Brody looking for some solutions. Chest out. That's serve from Darius Simonovic. Bartoldi high ball, but no one to take it. Not close enough from the antenna for Brennan. And a substitution for China. Duan Zhongsu coming in for Zhong Sikai. Guan Zhan will rest his number 16 for set number 4. With China having the opportunity to stay undefeated in that group stage. Well, China does not agree on the call, but you cannot challenge that call. The ball was called to be on the floor. It's always the same. This is how we are. We always want more. Now we have the challenge. We have 5 things we can call, and we would like to call 10 more. Good block, Canada. Well, they will need some more positive action like this ones, because China is only 3 points away from securing that third set. I like the energy of the mopper on the Canadian side. He's so happy to jump from his chair each time the point is over. Foster the back set for Compton. Net fall called against China. Gao dig by Bartoldi. Compton facing the Chinese block. And here we are with the first set point for China to take the lead in that game. But this will be after the substitution with Zhao Fuyao coming in for Ding Jian. Not on that serve. Too long for Xie Yiwen. Next end point on Christopher Bird's serve. Number 10 of that Canadian roster. Safe serve. The back set. And the tip, well read by Bryce Foster. Well, it was not that well executed as well. Another set point serve. There are 8 more. Good job by the block. Compton, another good job that time by the Chinese block. Foster, the soft tip to score the point between Juan and Xie. Three-point for Canada, a mistake in the rotation for China. We will have a timeout for Guangzhou, sitting on his bench and asking the assistant coach Zhang Mingxiang to take it. Well, China need 1 more point, and for the moment they're just not able to find a good first contact, an easy set and a conclusion. Well, let's say the Canadian block was good as well, but the 3-point they gave on the rotation mistake is something that should not happen, especially if the score is closer. Now they have a bit of margin, but not sure that it will be the case the entire week. Tomorrow we go into the knockout stage. China has a chance to finish first and to play against a team ranked 4th if they finish the job today. But after this, we will move to the quarterfinals, maybe the semifinals, and the level will increase game after game. Christopher Bird coming from the timeout. No risk. Dig by Leroy with the foot. Another chance. Still alive. What a fighting spirit for Canada. And they make it. The block out found by Zhao Fuyao. China leads 2-1.
第3局比赛结束，中国队以2-1暂时领先。
First serve for China in that fourth set. The first point for Canada. Same starting 6 for Cora Reid-Brody. Not convinced by Christopher Bird. I mean, not enough to put him in the starting 6. Maybe it was more to rest a bit Andrew Tucker. China as well goes with the same starting 6. Free ball Canada. Foster. Oh, that set is a bit poor for the Canadian setter. It was not easy because he was spinning just before touching the ball. It's too deep for Tucker and completely on the Canadian side. Simonovic can do a lot better with the reception. Compton dig. No control from Zhao Zhan. Guangzhou was not quite happy with the quality of the set. And again, it's not something you can check with the challenge. I don't think there was a blocker in front. Huge mistake for Andrew Tucker. Good reflex Foster. Bartoldi had a good reception. Well, even if it was lacking a bit of control, at least it went directly on the Chinese side and put some pressure. Well, Compton finds the ace with a serve that was nearly into the net. He doesn't like to serve. I have the feeling he doesn't like to do that. The back set. Point for Canada. It's just out, that swing from Xu Zhangbing.
Team China requests a video challenge. 中国队请求挑战。
Video challenge on a block touch. Well, Brennan said no. Not quite sure about the result. Could be that he faked as well. No touch. Point is for Canada, and that's one challenge less for China. 2-point lead for Canada. Connor Compton. And an additional 3-point rotation mistake for China. Well, Guangzhou not quite pleased with this one. Ace Compton. No, it's not done. Not a great dig for China if they win this point. Again. Simonovic to finish the job. I was quite sure this was an ace. Impressive Yuan, Chinese libero, doing such a good job. Now is that 4-point lead for Canada. It's the first time out called by China. Germany-Thailand is underway. That's the other game of that Group A. That is, of course, very interesting for us to have the final ranking of the group. Very close one for the moment in the first set. 15-14 for Germany. And on court number 2, we have the first game of the Group D between Iran and Japan. The second one is the last one we will have here on court number 1. At the end of that one, the game between Poland and Bosnia and Herzegovina. What a connection through the middle. And what a swing. Zhong Sikai is able to put so much power in his swing and still to control the trajectory. It's really impressive. Not over, free ball Canada. Simonovic giving again a 4-point lead to his team. I was just checking the schedule for tomorrow. We have the provisional schedule. We'll start 9 a.m. Again, we have 16 games. The round of 16 of both men and women's tournament. So 6 games here on court number 1. Tenth point for China, 10-12. Duan Zhongshu comes in for the serve. It is an ace for China. Back in contention, only one behind. A good choice by the head coach to bring Duan Zhongshu in. There was a touch, point for Tucker.
Substitution by Team China. Number 3 out. Number 12 in.
The captain. There's a great block from Canada in front of Gao Zhan. Well, Canada will not give up that easily. Point for China. Douglas Leroy playing it on the other side of the net. Well, the first referee was sure about that call. Doesn't look to be such a bad call from our position, but of course it's not something you can challenge. China is only one behind. And Canada now has to deal with Gao Zhan's serve. A soft one. That's a net fault called against China. So now the 2 times up to play the point again. It's quite confusing. I don't even know what the first decision was. I had the feeling he said there was a net fault against China. Douglas Leroy discussing with Ahmed Assar. Nothing really clear. Point to be played again. Good reception, Foster. And it was a great combination with Leroy. The Chen Xingdong perfectly read it, and he was waiting there to block that one. Position 3, 15-all. Good block, Tucker. Point for Canada, for China, sorry. Tucker cannot do better on that serve. 16-all. Foster the back set for Simonovic. Good job by the block. Simonovic unable to self-cover himself. The block just came too fast down. And China is in front, 17-16. Important for Canada to secure a good reception. It's the case with Leroy Compton blocked. Simonovic, a tip, well read by China. And that will be a challenge. It's a net fall call against China. China was complaining because they consider it was a set that got blocked by Canada. Brad Hunter was ready to come on court, but this will be after the video challenge. Not easy to find some rhythm in that game with the video challenges, the discussions. Okay, now Leroy is discussing with the referee. The leader of China is discussing. Well, no one is happy with the decision. You can hear the bench of Canada. Discussion between Ahmed Asser and Ayan Hakhmedov. Foster for Simonovic. Well, that block is really clear, and it's a monster block for Xu Zhenbing. And the timeout is called by Cora Reid Brody. 2-point lead for China. Almost 1 hour 45 in that game between China and Canada, and it's still not over. Of course, China is in front in that fourth set, and they lead 2-1. But it's not written that they will conclude in 4 sets, and you will understand that we will have a bit of delay with the last game of the day on court number 1 between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Poland, because both teams will need time for the official protocol, for the official warm up the net. So sorry about that. We will not finish that late as yesterday, but there will be a bit of delay. Foster with a good point coming out of the timeout, faking the set and going on his own. This time Brad Hunter can come. Well, luckily he went back to sit on the bench because this took an additional 5 or 10 minutes before he can come in. His task is very easy, trying to create a serve streak. But not with that serve. Compton in again. Well, it's not an easy job that Brad Hunter has in that team. He has to come almost 1 time per set to serve, and it has to be exactly at that moment that he brings his ace serve. That's a high IQ of sitting volleyball from CHN Bing. It's so frustrating for Bryce Foster. A 3-point lead for China. Still 1 timeout remaining for both teams. A tactical serve, no one was covering there. Luckily for Canada, the net was there to stop the ball. Tucker, good cover on that block. Simonovic blocked. It will be a catch call against Tucker. Be careful. Canada needs a good reception on Zhong Sikai's serve. Douglas Leroy, was there a touch? No. They will go for the challenge. Well, I guess it's for a block touch, yes or no. That's the board Cora Brody is showing. To 18. China need 3 more points to conclude that game. And a screening call against China. I think it was against Ding Yan. Simonovic a bit shy on his swing. And the timeout for Canada. China is 2 points away from securing the first spot in that Group A. Germany took the first set against Thailand and leads 10-6 in the second one. So if we carry on with that pace and with those kinds of results, China would finish first, Germany second, Canada third, and Thailand fourth in that Group A. Everything you need to know about the round of 16 will be both on the website of the competition and on the social medias of World Para Volley. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, just before the start of the first game, we will go through the entire schedule and the draw of the round of 16 to have a better idea of who is playing against who and in which part of the table. The first match point for China, 24-19. And to get a third win out of 3 games in that group stage, which would be a great achievement for them, because they were in a group with Germany and Canada. Not easy. Foster digged. Battledy, another good dig. The ball comes back. Tucker, easy ball for China. It's not over. Foster for Tucker. Chest out. And the victory for China, 3-1. They lost the first one 25-23, but could then secure the 3 next sets. They finish first in that Group A. Canada will finish third if Thailand does not win if Thailand does not win against Germany. Canada will finish third in that Group A. And we have one more game to follow together. Should have started at 7 p.m. here local time. Well, this is in 7 minutes, so let's be honest, we will not be there. There will be a bit of delay, but we will be back together in something like 20 minutes, 25 minutes for the very last game of the day in Group D. It will be the last game of the group stage before moving to the knockout stage tomorrow. The game between Poland and Bosnia and Herzegovina in the Group D. See you soon.